Mandatory vaccines for COVID-19 all across Canada. Is that something that's going to fly? Is that something that you would support? Federal Health Minister Jean-Yves Duclos, speaking on Friday, says the time has now come to start moving in that direction. To have that discussion, he says that the federal government should be having that discussion in concert with the provinces moving forward, that soon they're going to have to head in that direction. Now, he didn't make any specific suggestions or proposals of what such a policy would look like. There are a couple countries that are doing this already, and what they do is they fine people who are not being vaccinated. Is that something that'll be proposed? What about the criteria for what actually counts as being vaccinated? What do they actually want you to do? Is this just saying that people who have no vaccines have to get 1 dose or 2 doses? Or is it mandating a third shot, that those Canadians who were led to believe that all they had to do was become quote unquote fully vaccinated with the 2 doses and then there would never be any lockdowns again? Well, would they be included in this mandate that is under, I guess, temporary discussion, at least from the feds? Good questions. We don't know the answers, but if they do continue with this conversation, it'll be interesting to see what they put forward. Maybe they won't continue with the conversation, though, because there's already pushback from some senior figures. Alberta Premier Jason Kenney already saying, ain't gonna fly. We don't want this happening here in Alberta. So it'll be interesting to see what the responses are from various other politicians. One also wonders what Canadians are going to be thinking about all of this, because I think there's a lot of frustration from those who did go out and get vaccinated, being told, do your part. Once you do this, this is all over. But I happened to notice a tweet recently from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying, all right, folks, all you need to do is get your booster shot and then we can put all of this behind us. And that's how we get over the pandemic. Oh, okay, but that's exactly what you said earlier prior to boosters in terms of just the first and second doses. So I'm not so sure people are going to be so agreeable that pledge is an accurate one, that it's actually going to be delivered upon. And then you also have people looking at the data and going, I don't even know what's really going on right now when it comes to vaccinated, unvaccinated persons and the hospitalization numbers. There was a period where people were calling COVID-19 pandemic of the unvaccinated. But if you look at the numbers right now, it's telling a different story. Actually, Jean-Yves Duclos, when he gave that very press conference, when he was speaking about this issue, he said one of the reasons why making vaccines mandatory should come to pass is because 50% of the Quebec COVID hospitalizations are among the unvaccinated. You go, okay, I guess proportionally speaking, that's a lot. But at the same time, the way we were previously talking about the vaccines, we were led to believe it would be like 100% of the people in hospital with COVID would be unvaccinated. Now, 50%. So people are kind of looking at the breakdown and going, I'm not so sure. I think a lot of people are tempering the aggressiveness with which they are now going to go after the unvaccinated. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau seeming like he's really enjoying making them scapegoats. And there's been a lot of attention to a recent media appearance where he said some really odd things, saying that they're racist, that they're misogynistic. I recorded a podcast episode with a nurse in Ontario. She'd been a nurse for many years, and she did not want to get vaccinated, and she was let go because she was not vaccinated. Now, whatever you think of that issue, maybe you believe she should have just gone and gotten the vaccine. We had a long conversation, and at no point did I hear her say anything misogynistic or racist. So Justin Trudeau kind of going on overkill in that whole direction. And I think it's just going to make people look at the mandatory vaccine issue and go, even if they themselves are vaccinated, like the vast majority of Canadians are, even if they're supportive and encouraging of other people getting vaccinated, which the vast majority of Canadians are, this whole pushing towards the mandatory stuff, I don't know. I'm not so sure if they're going to be all that supportive of it.